Yeah, I mean, I think we've probably, I know our team, we talk about it kind of, we're not a big team. We're not a big team. It's never
Hmm.
been kind of um, an area that we are. I mean, even watching some of watching the Final Four, just the size of the
Hmm.
teams,
Yeah.
is something that is quite impressive in terms of the athleticism.
Hmm.
I actually don't think we lack athleticism. I think we just maybe lack some size,
Size. Yeah.
and so I think that can play a part in it. So I think I don't addressing size is maybe not necessarily the answer. I mean, obviously you can do that, and we have size within our team, and so kind of maybe figuring out how we kind of address that. The aerial, we were
Yeah.
actually just meeting. We had an individual meeting right before we came, and just one of our center backs, who's not a big center back, and so tell him he's got to improve in some of the aerial
Yeah.
aspects. And you've seen our roster. We've got kind of
Yep.
an international roster, and so
Yeah.
some of the cultural ideas around kind of the game, I think, is important for us to address and just kind of recognize that okay, maybe those areas aren't
Yeah.
as valued maybe where you're from. These
Hmm.
are things that are happening at the D3 level,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
in the Final Four. And so, yeah, maybe kind of the aerial stuff probably is kind of the area
Hmm.
that we've got to kind of address a little bit and just improve on and figure out ways organizationally as a staff too of how do we set up our team to
Hmm.
defend those situations maybe
Yeah.
in a little bit better manner, but also looking back again from 21 to 22, I think we were able to improve on some of it. We gave up kind of some counterattacks and we lost some control of games. We didn't give up a lot of counterattacks this year, and so we've made
Hmm.
some significant improvements there. Um, and then also maybe just being a little bit, um, we showed maybe some inexperience at times with regards to overly emotional sometimes in some games where just having to really just kind of stay stable in the game and not get play out the game, right? The game is,
Yeah.
we're down 2-1. Okay, just play it out, right? There's lots of time still to go. How do we kind of still be who we are? Obviously, being up would be the goal, and that's better. And we play better when we're up because then teams have to
Yeah.
come out against us, and we can kind of our possession can kind of create some problems for people. But so for me, those two kind of the aerial
Yeah.
stuff, and then just the emotional, and we're kind of
Yeah.
an emotional team, and I can be an emotional coach, which kind of creates its own challenge. But
Yeah.
just this idea of calmness,
Yeah.
um, and seeing again. Actually, we played Chicago and actually played them for me actually quite well. Uh,
Hmm.
but watching them almost have like no panic when they played us. And even just again watching them, and I watched them throughout the year. I watched them play
Yeah.
against teams that are similar. The Gustavus game, the
Yeah.
Elite Eight. They're down 1-0 to who was it? St. Thomas from
St.
Texas.
Thomas, and then they
And,
just
and
blow
show
it
their
open.
yep,
Yeah.
and show that even in the Final Four for me were
Right.
just so
Yeah.
impressive of just kind of didn't seem to get too up and too down,
Yeah. Yeah.
through the year, which for me is just is a testament to to Coach Stitch,
Yeah.
and also just their experience. They
Yeah.
just I felt like they were going to win it. I almost had an email drafted to Coach Stitch of like, congrats on winning the national championship and just being
Yeah.
for me being one of the most impressive teams all year and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
consistent and
Yeah. Oh
they
my
showed
gosh.
for me they showed
Yeah.
their experience too, and
Yeah.
some of their players that had been there just they've been there. They know what that
Yeah.
experience is like, and the Final Four is super special time to experience for
Yeah.
teams, and they I think probably knew that it was special, but also were the team kind of set up to win it all. So.